Alright everyone, it's Fam again here for MTGOntario, and we're doing another Scars of Mirrodin 8-4 draft for you here. And this is just right before the the top 8 coverage for Worlds, which will be in approximately a little over 2 hours from now, and just killing time by doing a draft and waiting for the video coverage of that. Quick shout out to Team Canada and a couple of individuals, Noah Long, Vincent Thibault, Pascal Maynard, Guillaume Daoust, and some other Canadians. If I forgot about you, I'm sorry. I didn't really mean it, but you guys did great at Worlds, and it's a good showing for Canada. And yeah, there's not much else to say. Let's continue with this draft here. First pick, first back. It looks kind of unexciting. The pick comes down to 3 cards, I think. It's Acid Web Spider, Arc Trail, and Lux Cannon. Not a big fan of Lux Cannon. I feel like it's a little too slow for draft. I think it might be fine for sealed. I mean, you could build this deck with like the sort of the proliferate kind of combo in mind, and pick up cards like Thrumming Bird. But I personally don't like blue all that much in this format, so I kind of don't want to go that route. And otherwise, Lux Cannon just feels too slow. I think the best card in this pack is definitely Arc Trail. It's in one of the best colors in the format, and yeah. The other card is, again, Acid Web Spider. It's another 2-for-1 card, and it puts you in green, but I'd probably just rather take the removal spell here. Okay, so we got Bloodshot, Trainee, Shatter, Off-Color Mirror, a bunch of blue cards. Not much else to say here. I think we should continue taking red cards. I think Shatter's probably better than Bloodshot Trainee. Bloodshot Trainee needs a lot of work to get online, and it's more of a card that you probably want to pick up pack 2 or 3 if your deck's looking like it can support it. But at the moment, this is the second pick of the first pack, so I'm just going to stick with Shatter and stay on color. Wow, this is a pretty big signal. And yes, this is definitely an 8-4, so I'm not playing a Swiss Q or a 4-3-2-2. I'm being passed an Embersmith, a Shatter, a Tumble Magnet. The rare is still in this pack. There's an uncommon missing as well, so I'm guessing like the person to our right probably took an uncommon. The person to his right probably took like a foil rare, maybe. I mean, it's that, or I don't really know. I mean, that or a really good common that's much better than Embersmith. I don't know. I can't really think of something too crazy off the bat. This is pretty tough. Like Tumble Magnet, Embersmith is pretty close. The thing is, like, we're passing a Shatter, and having Shatter and Embersmith both in the same pack, if we ship it left, sends like an awkward red signal to the person to our left, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to cut off one of the red cards. Passing a Shatter is fine. It's not the greatest, but yeah. There's a second Mirror Galvanizer we saw. We might pick them up at this point, but I don't think there's a very good reason to right now, because we don't have any mirrors. We don't have anything to go with. It's not like the most exciting card anyways. Otherwise, there's an off-color mirror. It's the same off-color mirror that we saw before as a copper mirror. And then we could move into white for Revoke Existence, which seems fine to me. There's no good card for us otherwise. Like, for red, there's only Oxida Daredevil, and all the other artifacts don't seem that great. And I don't think like I want to move into another color other than white at this point. And, you know, red-white Metalcraft is one of the best archetypes in this format, so why not, right? So we have the option of going into like a Furnace Celebration type of theme here, which is fine. Red-white could probably support that reasonably well. I personally don't like going for too much of an all-in gimmicky strategy. I think red-black is probably better for the Furnace Celebration anyways. And if I want to stay on red-white, I'd probably want to go Metalcraft. So that being said, I'd probably want to pick up a Snapsail Glider instead of here. Like, otherwise, everything else in this pack is sort of like awkward. The Thrumming Bird would have been fine if we took the Lux Cannon, but again, I didn't want to like go for that sort of strategy, and again, the Lux Cannon by itself felt too slow, so yeah, I'm not upset about passing that Lux Cannon, so I'm going to take this Snapsail Glider and pass the Furnace. It's kind of awkward passing Shattered Furnace, but wow, this is a hard pick. You have Chrome Steed, Palladium Mirror, and Origin Spellbound. This is pretty tough. I think like part of me really wants to take the Chrome Steed just because like it solidifies our Metalcraft plan, and passing it to our left sort of passes that Metalcraft signal to the person to our left as well. I feel like at least the person to our right or to his right is probably an Infect or something, because we haven't seen anything of that sort. coming this way, so it looks like Metalcraft is probably open for us, from the at least coming from the right. I think for our purposes, Palladium Mirror is probably going to serve the best for us. And even if we don't end up in Metalcraft or something, I mean, Palladium Mirror is just solid one way or another. It's probably the safest pick out of that pack. I really regret passing that Chrome Steed, though. This pack's not that great. We got a Strider Harness, a Wall Tangle Cord, a Replica, Oxided Daredevil again. It looks like if we took the Furnace Celebration, we would have had a few sack outlets by now, but I didn't want to go all in on that strategy. I'd rather just have like a solid red-white Metalcraft deck instead of a sort of gimmicky removal style deck. I think the Wall of Tangle Cord is better than Strider Harness. I'm just pick that up here, just because it's a cheap artifact that helps us out with Embersmith. So, on Color Mirror, that's great. Everything else doesn't seem that great. I mean, Liquid Metal Coating is fine here. It'd probably be better with like the Furnace Celebration deck, because if you get like Mirage Ogres or something, you start throwing your lands at them. But otherwise, it only works with Shattered and Revoke Existence at this point, and we're not all in on like this Metalcraft plan yet. So Liquid Metal Coating can like pass for now. This pack's not that great. Andrew Tingaki was scolding me online about how I was passing Flameborn Hellions and not really considering them. It's not that I really didn't consider them, it's just that I thought at that time, whatever pick I made at that moment was probably better than a Flameborn Hellion in my opinion, even though they both, neither of them might have made the cut. But in any case, I'm going to try and take the Flameborn Hellion this time, because there's not much else left for me in the pack. Nothing else really here. I'll take a Daredevil. I don't really think I'd be playing Salvage Scout. Maybe. Like, taking the Daredevil also cuts it off from the person who has the Furnace Celebration, so that's also fine. I've seen people play with this Voyage Master. I'm not really a fan of it, but I mean, there's nothing else left for me in this pack, so I'm just going to take it. Plus, it's a rare, so yeah. Do that. Nothing else here. Seized Initiative is a trick. Probably not going to play it. I'm going to hide it for now. I'm going to take out the cantrip. Wait, is this even a cantrip? No, it's not even a cantrip. Take that out. I'm going to hide that. So far, so good. I mean, it's a decent pack one. There was like a really awkward pack where there was like a lot of cards we want to take, but so far, so good, I think. You're going to hide Daredevil. Got 9 packs out of pack one. Nine good playables out of pack one, and a couple of like cards here and there. Oh wow, that's pretty good. Kemba Ka Region is probably one of the best cards for our color combinations, because we can just easily pick up equipment, like any equipment actually. Like even if this a Quarter Shield comes back, snap that up right away. Otherwise, you could consider Necropede off Color Mirror or Glinthawk. Even splashing Sylvok Replica is fine too, but I think for us, we want to pick up the Legend, and hopefully that will win us some games. This pack, not that exciting. I've said this many times, not a fan of these colored Metalcraft cards. More, the only one I'd probably consider is Galma's Warden, because it's a pretty decent body by itself. Maybe in Blade Tribe Berserkers, but I try to avoid them if I can. This pack is just unexciting in general. I don't want any of the colored cards in our color. I think that probably the best artifact for us to take here is Auriok Replica, as sad as it is. And if we took the Glinthawk idol earlier, I'd probably consider Necrogen Sensor, because you can have some tricks with that, but at this moment we don't have anything like that, so I'm not going to consider the Sensor until maybe later. So I'm going to pick up the Replica. At least it's a body. I think we just want to pick up equipment now that we have the Regent. I think taking the Quarter Shield here is fine. I'd probably consider taking the off-color Mirror as well. Memnite is a trap, pretty much for those like Glinthawk players. I mean, it's fine and all, but I feel like it's just a waste of a card. It doesn't do anything for you other than be a 1/1 later. So drawing it later in the game just feels like a waste. Whereas like if you went like Glinthawks and Quarter Shields, that would be a lot better, because at least the Quarter Shield does something. Maybe we'll wheel like the Wall of Tangle Core of this pack, but I doubt it. So yeah, I'm gonna pick up the shield here. Pack's not exciting again. I'm probably not gonna play an off-color Spellbomb nor Soliton. Do not like this guy, so the only guy to consider is the guy I was talking about. So I'll pick this guy up. He's your poor man's Chrome Steed, I guess is what you could call it. This is a really late Galvanic Blast, so it's a pretty good signal for us. Passing the Shatter earlier in pack 1, I was a little worried about, but I'm guessing the person took Tumble Magnet out of that pack because it's probably like the better card in a vacuum. I really want to take Tumble Magnet as well. I was considering it, but the biggest thing to me was if I passed Embersmith and Shatter in the same pack, they would probably see like an awkward red signal, and then I cut them off pack 1, and then we'd have like I would be in this situation where I'm getting shipped to Galvanic Blast. So I think things worked out for me, at least for signaling purposes in pack 1. So I'm gonna pick up the Galvanic Blast here. Pack's pretty dry. The only thing that we really want to look at here is potentially taking either Bladed Pinions or Coppermere. I'm not going to move all in on this equipment right away. I mean, Kemba Ka Region is just fine being a 3-mana 2/4, but I think that our deck needs to have like more artifact synergy as it is, so I'd rather have a Coppermere at this point, and hopefully we'll get something like another Quarter Shield or something later, so we're not too hard pressed for equipment. And then we get this option where we have a Barrage Ogre and a Bladed Pinions. It's kind of awkward. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Bladed Pinions. It just feels like it doesn't do enough. I mean, I understand like the evasion and the first strike is huge, but it's only huge in the right decks. Again, and another thing is though, like Barrage Ogre, it's a really good card. I'm not sure how synergistic it is with our deck though. I think that it's awkward. Like, we have a lot of colored spells already, so I want this to be more of a Metalcraft based deck. I'm actually going to hide this Hellion for now, because ideally I don't want to be able to play it. So I'm going to actually take the Bladed Pinions here, just because I want to have more of a Metalcraft theme. You can probably, like, a lot of people will probably, you know, yell at me for that and saying, oh, why wouldn't you take the Barrage Ogre? Just, I want to, like, hedge my bets. I'm taking the Silvok Lifestaff here for the same reason. It makes this card better, which is, we're not trying to all in on this strategy, but at the same time it's helping our Metalcraft out. I mean, at the moment we only have like 2 real Metalcraft cards. I mean, I guess you can count that, but I kind of feel that in the right white-red archetype, it's probably better to have as few colored spells as possible. Mainly because it's easier on your mana, and you just kind of focus on your goal to just ramp up to like 3 artifacts. So, and then all your cards just are so much more powerful than theirs. And the thing is, like, the Barrage Ogre is a good finisher, but it's sort of like anti-productive with the rest of your deck because you're losing artifacts instead of adding on. And I mean, at the same time you're trading off a card for another card, but the thing is, like, the way I see Barrage Ogre is that in this sort of style deck, you want to have the least number of colored spells as possible. So for that purposes, I'd probably, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. Like, I hate drawing it in my opening hand, especially when I'm playing a Metalcraft and not like a Furnace Celebration deck. So yeah. Here's a pack where we're gonna take either Saberclaw Golem or Quarter Shield. I probably want to take the Quarter Shield here because I kind of don't want to play the Bladed Pinions if I can afford to. So yeah, I like the Saberclaw Golem and I want to take it there, but again, I'm trying to make this card better, and I like cheaper artifacts to make Embersmith better as well. Like, Bladed Pinions is, I understand it costs 2, but I just don't like it that much right now in this format. So I mean, this Goblin Cavalier is actually reasonable to consider now because we have 4 playable equipments, so I'm gonna pick it and see where we go with from there. Nothing I really want to play here. I might want to play the Acolyte for a sideboard against Infect, and otherwise there's another Replica, which I probably don't want to play, so I'm gonna take the Acolyte. Take the Ferrivore away from the guy who has the Furnace. And we got Saberclaw Golem, so I guess it turned out okay for us. Another trick. I mean, it looks like no one's really drafting blue, because I saw that Luminous Drake, like 2 cards left in the pack, and then there was a Sky Eel School going around late, so I don't know what was going on with the blue, so. I mean, I think this deck is turning out alright. So far, so good.